everybody. Welcome to the Social Distance Show. This is the first episode of I hope not very many. Um, so basically, no one's leaving their house, or they shouldn't be leaving their house, or whatever your situation is, wherever you are right now. So I figured I have this opportunity. We have this wonderful technology that we can talk to people and still keep our social distance. So today, today on the show, I have the wonderful John Savage, Pastor John Savage. Hey, John, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Good, thanks.
All
Thanks for
right.
joining me.
Oh, sure.
So, John, you are the pastor at Carolina Free Baptist Church,
hmm
my pastor. And how are things going for you today? I know that it is your lovely wife Heather's birthday. Heather is an extremely talented pianist, composer. You had a list of like 100 different things.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
she's the Renaissance woman,
yeah.
herbalist, philosopher, theologian, interior designer. And there were things I left off.
Yeah, of course. She's incredible.
Yep.
How are you guys doing today?
All things considered, we're doing all right. We've certainly got enough to occupy us around here.
Right.
But usually, like you said, it was her birthday, so instead of thinking about things like going out and going somewhere, I don't know, leaving the house, we're kind of sitting here. I mean, it's a little bleak, but
Yeah,
I mean, this is it now. This is the world we live in now, so we just kind of are going with it.
exactly. And it's gonna be a day-to-day situation for everybody.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, the world is a lot different than it was 36 hours ago, and who knows what it'll be in 36 hours.
Yeah, nobody knows. This
No.
is out of our hands now. I was telling her, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know how serious any of these things are, but I know that the response is now utterly out of our hands.
Right.
So we're just kind of getting told what to do now. I don't know what's going to happen. And, the conspiracy theorist in me is never, ever happy about anything, really.
Right.
But I what are you gonna do? I don't know what to do.
Right.
We're here, so I have things to do. I'm going to practice my guitar. I'm going to work around the house. I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to catch up on my music listening. I'm going to do a lot of things.
Yeah. And because this is, going to go out before Sunday, what is the plan right now? I mean, I know that I just got an email. So what is the plan right now for your congregation?
The plan right now is if you are feeling sick in any form, you stay home. And, I'm not going to just cancel it outright because some people are not sick and some people are going to be trapped in their house.
Right.
And this is the matter where I don't have any expertise. People have to use their own judgment and they have to say, I don't feel well, or I think I might be sick, or I kind of have a tickle. Well, then you have to stay home.
That's true.
You can't. Yeah.
And the congregation at Carolina isn't, it doesn't meet the requirements for mass.
No.
So,
It does, however, at the risk of being, at the risk of offending somebody, we have a lot of people over the age of 60.
Right.
So that's a little testy. I know that people are frowning upon meetings of people who are older over a certain number of people. So you're making me start to second guess myself. Thank you. Well, I feel great now.
You're welcome.
Publicly. And you get to put this on the internet so people in Hawaii can now see this.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
So the main thing for you and for people at the church, if you're not feeling well, if you're not comfortable leaving your house, don't leave your house.
Yeah, just
You
don't.
know, if and you know, stay away from people, keep your distance, that
Church
whole
is a
thing.
tough thing because people,
Yeah,
you know, if you miss a Sunday, some people are like, oh, that's the end of me.
right.
You know, I'm gonna have to answer to that in eternity. I'm not exactly gonna take that line of thinking.
Right.
I would rather we'll just take our chances with you not being there, and you know, instead of it being a black mark against you, it's more of a you're doing your bit to keep whatever you might have from spreading to other people.
Absolutely.
And that, you know, so
So, all right. So, talk to me a little bit about your background. How long have you been a pastor? What led you down that road? And you know, what are you doing now in Carolina? How'd you get where you are?
I've been the pastor at Carolina for 12 years. I became a pastor because I hate myself. And I want, yeah, I just love being abused. I love being wrong about things. That's why I became a pastor, because I felt like that was the best reflection of my home life growing up.
Again, John, I just want to remind you, it's not just you and I talking. Anyway,
I
so
can I can I can tell you that pastoring got to a point where I said I have to do this, or I am going to hate myself if I don't, and that is the truth.
that's very
Um,
nice.
yeah, you get this thing inside of you that says I really believe that of all the things I could be doing with my life, this is the thing that I really believe that if I'm not doing it, I'm going to I'm going to not feel like I am truly living in the way that I want to live. So I became a pastor. It really, I mean, you hear the term calling a lot
Right.
in terms of this kind of an inner drive. And that's really what I felt, because there was so much of me that said, I really don't want to do that. And it was because I saw friends of mine and pastors who I respected getting hurt by their people on a regular basis. And I said, I don't want to, I don't want to be in a place where I'm putting myself through that or my family through that. But it became something where I said, no, this is, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do it in a way that I really believe is a reflection of who I am, and a reflection of my faith and of my beliefs. And so 12 years in, I personally feel like there's a lot of stability in the church. We're not a huge church, but we're a tight church. So I feel good about what's going on.
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Right.
So you, in addition to being a pastor, are an extremely talented musician and songwriter. Uh, Tell me a little bit about your history with music. How long have you been playing guitar? When did you start writing songs? All of that.
I started playing guitar when I was 14, so I'm 47 now, so 33 years. That was another one of those things where I knew I liked music and I knew I liked listening to music, but I didn't find any satisfaction in any other instrument. I just kind of knew. I saw my first, uh, let me see, I was listening to British heavy metal when I was very young, and I saw a poster. I saw my first like Judas Priest poster when I was like 10, and I saw them holding these instruments, and I knew that the sound that I liked was coming out of those instruments. I said, well, I want to do that. So I did. And so I picked up the electric guitar, and then my father turned me on to Bob Dylan when I was in high school, and I said, well, I definitely want to do that. And then when I uh, was in my 20s, I went to URI for classical guitar because I had heard somebody playing classical guitar. And I said, I never knew you could even do that with that instrument. So, and it's a bit of a roundabout journey because I play the guitar, but my passion is more, believe it or not, in listening than it is in playing. Somebody asked me once, if you had a choice between never playing again or never listening to music again, what would you pick? And I said, well, I'd pick never playing again, because listening has become so much a part of what I do. So my listening is very broad, and I try to bring all of those influences into my playing. And I don't do much songwriting anymore. I did for a while, but I don't do that much anymore. But I try to, what I play and what I sing, I try my best to make that a reflection of all of the influences that I've had musically in my life. I don't know if I answered your question.
You did.
That's the
Yeah,
problem with shows, is that I don't, or these questions, because now it's a record of me rambling.
I love it. That's what I
All
want.
right. All right.
That's what I want.
All
That's
right.
specifically what I want. Um, Speaking of your songwriting, you wrote me a song once.
I did.
10 years ago, actually.
Was it that
Uh,
long?
yeah, over 10 years. I
Yeah, it was
believe.
over 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was
It was over
unfortunate. I
10
mean,
years.
let's just tell the story because it's kind of apropos of what's happening right now. Um,
Yeah, it
in
kind
a
of is.
way, it was during not the last, but a well-known health outcry, global. I don't know if it was officially a global pandemic, but the H1N1 virus in 2009.
All right.
I contracted that virus and was very ill and spent 6 weeks in Yale New Haven Hospital and on a ventilator and got this cool scar you guys can see. And you wrote a song for me.
I did.
It was very nice. If we were in person or like not in a internet connection, I would ask you to play it for everybody right now.
Yeah.
But I don't. But another time,
Another time. Yeah.
another
Now
time.
everybody, now you see, now you've primed the pump. Everybody's all excited now.
There you go.
Yeah.
Um, but I appreciated that, and that
Oh,
was a very nice thing to do.
well, you know, that was, my songwriting has always been driven by moments of very intense, very specific inspiration. And that was one of those moments. That was such a strange time, because I remember feeling so deeply for your situation and so very concerned about you coming out of it. And then I was very concerned about your parents. And then it was my own panic. Like, what am I going to do if this guy dies? And how am I going to handle that? And, that's one of those situations where you feel the eyes of the world. Like, what's he going to do? Because that's kind of what I do.
Right.
I'm a little bit more of a public figure than I'd hoped I would be. But yeah, that was that was not only the cry for your life, but that was the cry of my own soul at the time. So
Damn, man.
I'm good. How are you?
This guy did.
There it is.
my entire thing when I put this out this morning was let's have some fun in the
Oh,
midst of all this chaos. And
yeah. Yeah, that's why you have me on, for
that's
fun.
why. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I do for people.
So you have like a family band at this point. I mean, you don't, because honestly, your kids are too talented to want to have anything to do with you. But
Yep.
but everybody in the family is insanely musically talented.
Yeah.
Obviously, your wife, who we talked about earlier, is the one of the most amazing piano players I've ever seen in my life,
Oh yeah.
and your son is a world-class performer
World
on
class.
bass.
Yeah.
He is like legitimately. That's not hyperbole. He's traveled the
Yeah.
world.
He's
Uh,
traveled to China, to Germany, to Switzerland, to Czechoslovakia. He received the opportunity to have a live audition at the Curtis Institute of Music in Pennsylvania. And nobody gets live auditions at Curtis. I mean, just by virtue of the fact that he got it, makes him one of the best collegiate bass players in the country.
it's incredible.
Oh, I can't believe how good of a musician he is.
And Rebecca is the same. She's
Classical
incredible.
guitar and Chinese. Yep.
Yeah.
She played at the first annual National honors guitar ensemble at Disney World a couple of years ago. She has been part of the Brevard Music Festival. She is at URI with the maximum level of scholarship she can get for guitar. And yeah, amazing singer, songwriter. She raps. She's incredible. Oh yeah, I
She
can't even keep
is.
up with her.
She is very special.
Yep.
And let's get. I mean, hopefully, in the next couple of days or whatever. I don't want to bother her because it's her birthday, though I am taking her husband away from her. What's Heather up to these days?
Heather is well, a lot of what she was doing has been canceled for the remainder of the year.
Right.
She has been selected as a finalist in the American Prize for Composition competition. She wrote a string orchestra piece called Daughter of the Stars that is actually on her webpage, heathernemisavage.com. It is, I believe it's on YouTube. Also, it is on SoundCloud. She has been picked as a finalist, so they sent in the Pops division, excuse me. So there were 8 semifinalists. We're now down to 5 finalists, and in a couple of months, we'll find out if she won. Her piece has been recorded by an orchestra in the Czech Republic for CD release. Ablaze Records is the record label. It's their orchestral masters series, and the CD will be coming out sometime within the next month or so. And she's got several submissions into various places right now.
And
Or
in
works.
the midst of all of that, you decided to do a self remodel of your house, which I mentioned because we can see some of it behind you.
What are you talking about? That is the remodel. Yeah, I'm doing a self remodel of the house. That's the it's more of like the kind of snail's pace remodel.
That's cool.
That's one of those things where you begin working on something and you say, okay, I'm going to do this today. And then you get a phone call.
Right.
And
But I
oh,
mean,
I need you to drop everything you're doing.
but I mean, you
Okay.
completely switched the whole, you moved the kitchen
Oh,
to
yeah.
the dining room, the living room, you switched
Yeah.
everything and you built new counters for yourself. I mean, you're incredibly handy, John.
Yeah.
You don't
Efficient, no. Handy,
you
yes.
you
But
don't take compliments well either.
no, I never have.
No. So if there's one thing that you'd like to leave people with, actually, before we do that, I'd like to ask 2 questions. Number one, what do you wish you were doing right now? What do you wish that you could do like today that you are unable to do, or this week or something like?
Oh, all
What's
right.
something you've been looking forward to that has been put on hold? And number 2, what are you actually grateful for with this sort of forced pause?
Honestly, what I wish I was doing today is just I just wish I could go out to dinner. I wish I could feel safe. I wish I could, like, that wasn't an ethical dilemma going out to dinner. So I guess that's one. What is good about the pause? The pause itself. I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to be anywhere. Nobody wants me around. I mean, less than usual. So I'm feeling it's, again, the response is out of our hands. Now we're just operating on strict common sense. I feel okay, but if other people don't and they don't want me around, I'm not going to be around. So it's all right. It's okay. I'm not feeling too restricted, other than the dinner thing. But
Yeah.
other than that, yeah, that's
All right.
all right. Yeah, I wish I had a
And
more interesting answer for you, but
is there anything you'd like to leave people with, or let them know about what you're doing, what Heather's doing, or just the church in general?
all right. Well, Church Carolina Free Baptist Church is at 504 Carolina Back Road in Charlestown. That's how you should enter it into your GPS, or I don't know where you're going to end up. Yeah, there's like 3 churches on that stretch. So if you walk into a Catholic church, that's not me. If you walk into a church where everybody's kind of jumping off the chairs and yelling things in languages you don't know, that's not me either. I'm
What
halfway in
church?
between those two.
Wait, what
On
church?
many levels, I'm halfway in between those two
We'll
extremes.
talk after. I don't know what that other church is.
That's okay. So we meet. So 504 on topic. 504 Carolina Back Road in Charlestown. We meet at 10:15.
Cool. Yeah, and Carolina Free Baptist Church, you can find
We're
me
the
on
church that
Facebook.
if you don't fit in anywhere, you'll fit in with us.
Absolutely,
This
I
is
agree. It's a
misfit
bunch
church.
of oddballs, whom I love very much.
Well,
So okay,
lead
awesome.
oddball himself.
That's very, very true. Thank you so much, John.
It is my pleasure.
And
Thanks for having me.
no problem. And thank you guys for checking out the show.
Oh, sure.
And I hope that everything goes back to normal really, really soon.
All
Have a good day.
right. Thank you.